Now, let's see what actually an electric network is. You might be coming across this word of electric network or electric circuit most of the times. It is just a system of interconnected components which allow an electric current to flow from one component to another one. So you might be having so many network components, just like excitations, what we call them as sources. They can be voltage source or current source, or they might be dependent or independent. And you might be having so many network elements, just like you might be using this RLC, resistor, inductor, capacitance, and electronic elements like diodes, transistors, etc. So these are the different elements or the network components. These will be interconnected in order to achieve a particular target, or they might be interconnected for a particular application. And this interconnection of all these components is basically called an electronic or electrical network, or in other words, it is called as a circuit. In a circuit, most of the times the current flows from one component to another component. Predominantly, it consists of one of the sources. It can be a battery or a generator, and there will be wires which will be interconnecting all the different elements. And these elements, as already I told you, they can be resistors, capacitors, switches, electronic switches, etc. They might be in open circuit, or they might be in an open loop or a closed loop. So depending upon the applications. Now, in all the applications, you do see electric networks. You can see them in your simple household appliances to very complex industrial machinery also. Even a simple mobile charger also will be having an electric network inside it. So electric network is not a big thing. It is just knowing the interconnection between the different components. So you as an engineer, electronics engineer, you must be capable of understanding how to design an electric circuit. In fact, nowadays printed circuit boards, what we call them as PCBs, are coming into picture. So you must be capable of what actually a network is and how to design it. In your communication side, these printed circuit boards are generally used for developing VLSIs, particularly chips, and also these may help you in transmitting of information through communication networks. And there are a few topologies which you must learn about an electric network. So what are these topologies which you must know about an electric network? One thing is a branch and node and a loop. Now let us take a electric circuit. Now I will draw here the electric circuit. There is a one particular source. I'll take it as voltage source. Okay. And this is source. And it is connected to now this is some sort of a circuit. Okay. I'll take this one as a source, and this is a resistor. This is another resistor. This is another resistor. Sorry. This is another resistor. This is a capacitor, and this is a diode. Now there are so many components which are connected now in order to allow some current or some potential drop to be developed across them, right? Let us don't think about the application point of view. Now this circuit is called as an electric circuit. Now in this one, if you carefully see, this is called as a loop. See, a path which starts and see, it is starting, moving, and again ending at the same points. This is called as a loop. So loop is nothing but a closed path which starts and ends. See, this is one particular loop, right? And here, if I start here, this will be another again loop. Now this is another again loop. So how many loops are there in this one? There are 3 loops. We call them as meshes also. So a loop is a closed path that starts and ends at the same node, passing through various components. And in this path, if you carefully see, it has come across, this is one element, this is second element, there is no element here, and this is another element. So 3 elements it has come across. And each of this is called as a branch. A branch is nothing but a single path. These are all branches. So individual things are called as branches. And if these branches do form just like a closed loop, it is called as a loop. And the joinings, see, this is a point where 3 elements are connected, right? This is a point where 3 elements are connected, right? So these points are called as nodes. So node is a point in circuit where 2 or more components are connected. So now you have understood now branch, node, and also loop. And in other words, a branch is a path that connects 2 nodes in a circuit. Now I will show you now. So how many nodes are there? This is 1, this is 2. You can take this one as also a node. And see here also, this is also a node because it is a combination of this source and this one and this one. So this is completely a node. Node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4. So branch is a path that connects 2 nodes. So this is a branch 1, this is branch 2, this is branch 3, this is branch 4, this is branch 5, this is branch 6. So total 6 branches are there. And how many loops are there? This is loop 1, loop 2, and this is loop 3. So a loop is a closed path that starts and ends at the same node. It can consist of multiple branches. See how many branches are there between them? 3 branches are there in this loop. Whereas in between 2 nodes, there generally will be a single branch. Okay. Now we have seen what actually an electric network is and what it consists of. So electric network basically consists of simple things, right? Branches, nodes, and loops. So I hope that now if I give you a network, you are able to identify the nodes and loops and also branches, right? And what are the important components which are there in the electric network? They can be sources, just like batteries or generators, etc. Or they can be network elements, or they can be switches, electronic switches. Okay. Now, in the next lecture, we will see about network elements. Moving ahead.